Introduction: The Modern Broker Standard in 2026. In today's Arizona real estate environment, the role of the broker has evolved far beyond oversight. It is now defined by leadership, compliance, and risk prevention at every level of the brokerage. As we enter 2026, the Arizona Department of Real Estate, ADRA, has made it clear that brokers are expected to operate with structured systems, documented policies, and proactive supervision that protects the public, the brokerage, and the licensees working under them. This course is designed to guide you through that framework step by step, beginning with the foundation, your broker policy and procedure manual. This section sets the stage for everything that follows. Before we discuss supervision, risk management, transaction oversight, and independent contractor agreements, we must first understand why policies exist, how they are structured, and how they connect to your daily operations as a broker. The ADRI Model Broker Policy Manual is not just a suggestion, it is a roadmap to compliance, and in many cases, your first line of defense in an audit, complaint, or investigation. Think of your brokerage like a machine. Without clear systems, it breaks down under pressure. A well-structured policy manual ensures consistency, accountability, and clarity. It defines expectations for agents, establishes procedures for handling transactions, and creates a standard that aligns with Arizona law. When something goes wrong, and at some point it will, your policies determine whether you are protected or exposed. Throughout this course, we will follow the life cycle of brokerage operations. We begin with orientation and policy development, move into supervision and compliance, transition into transaction management and advertising, and finish with risk management and enforcement strategies. Each section builds on the last, just like a real transaction builds from agency to contract to closing. Orientation: Understanding the role of the Broker Policy Manual. The Broker Policy and Procedure Manual is the backbone of your brokerage. Under AAC R4-28-1103, brokers are required to exercise reasonable supervision and control over all real estate activity. This is not optional, it is a legal obligation that directly ties to disciplinary action under ARS, paragraph 32-2153, if not properly executed. In simple terms, your policy manual answers one critical question: how does your brokerage operate in compliance with Arizona law? It outlines how transactions are handled, how agents are supervised, how advertising is approved, how trust accounts are managed, and how disputes are resolved. Example: real-world application. A brokerage without a clear document submission policy may allow agents to turn in paperwork late or incomplete. When ADRI audits the file and finds missing disclosures or delayed documentation, the broker, not the agent, is held responsible. This is where ARS paragraph 32-2151.01, record retention, becomes critical, requiring brokers to maintain complete and accurate records. Now compare that to a brokerage with a strict 72-hour submission policy, like many Arizona brokerages use. The broker can demonstrate a system of supervision, training, and enforcement, significantly reducing liability. By our introduction to broker supervision, the legal standard AAC R4-28-1103 is the cornerstone of broker responsibility in Arizona. It requires brokers to establish written policies, review transactions, monitor advertising, and ensure compliance across all activities. This rule is reinforced by ARS, paragraph 32-2107, which gives the commissioner authority to enforce these standards. If a broker fails to supervise, ADRA does not ask, "Did you know?" They ask, "What systems did you have in place?" Case law connection. In Jennings v. Lee, 1969, the court reinforced that brokers owe fiduciary duties that include oversight and protection of the client's interests. While this case focused on fiduciary responsibility, its application today extends into supervision, because failure to supervise often leads to failure in disclosure or contract execution. Key thought: supervision is not reactive, it is proactive. Waiting until there is a problem is already too late. Notice of disclaimer: why policies must be clear but flexible. The ADRE Model Policy Manual includes a notice of disclaimer, which is critical in understanding how policies function. Policies are designed to guide behavior, not replace judgment or legal advice. This is especially important in 2026, where new technologies, AI tools, and team structures are evolving rapidly. The broker must ensure policies are adaptable while still maintaining compliance. Example: If your brokerage allows AI-generated advertising, your policy must address review procedures, accuracy standards, and compliance with AAC R4-28502 advertising rules. Without this, a misleading AI-generated listing could result in disciplinary action under ARS, paragraph 32-2153 for misrepresentation. The definitions, creating clarity across the brokerage. A strong policy manual begins with clear definitions. This eliminates confusion and ensures consistency across all agents, teams, and transactions. One of the most important updates in 2025-2026 involves real estate teams. According to Substantive Policy Statement 2025.03, teams are not separate legal entities, but operate under the supervision of the employing broker. This means the broker is responsible for team advertising compliance, AAC R4-28502E, team compensation structures, ARS, paragraph 32-2155, team supervision under R4-28-1103. Example: a team advertises under a team name larger than the brokerage name. This violates advertising rules, and ADRI will hold the broker accountable, not just the team leader. Key thought: if it happens under your brokerage, it is your responsibility. No exceptions. How this section connects to the rest of the course. This orientation is the foundation for everything we will build moving forward. In the next sections, we will take these concepts and apply them directly to supervision systems and enforcement, R4-28-1103, transaction management and record keeping, ARS, paragraph 32-2151.01, advertising compliance and disclosure, R4-28502, independent contractor agreements, ICA, risk management strategies to avoid ADRI complaints. Each of these areas ties back to one central idea: your policies must not only exist, they must be implemented, followed, and enforced. Online discussion. Why is a broker policy manual considered a broker's first line of defense during an ADRI audit or complaint? Answer: a broker policy manual demonstrates that the broker has established systems for supervision, compliance, and risk management. It shows ADRI that the broker exercised reasonable care under AAC R4-28-1103, which can reduce liability and disciplinary exposure. How does the 2025.03 ADRI policy statement on teams impact broker responsibility? Answer: it clarifies that teams are not independent entities and must operate under the broker's supervision. This means the broker is responsible for team advertising, compensation, and compliance with all ADRI rules. What is the biggest risk to a broker who does not enforce their policies consistently? Answer: inconsistent enforcement can lead to violations, liability under ARS, paragraph 32-2153, and loss of credibility with ADRA. It also weakens the broker's ability to defend their supervision practices.